Greetings and good morning. You know what day it is. Oh, you know what day it is. Happy Transformative Tuesday. As always, I'm Dennis R. Holder, Mr. Motivation, the CEO of Herald of Hope, Books and Inspiration, and yes, I'm coming to you. Each and every one of you with some words of encouragement, of uplifting, something to reignite the fire of your passion. Lend me your ears on this Transformative Tuesday. Here we are blessed with another Transformative Tuesday in the month of August. As we strive to close out this month's segment, remember the times. Hey, you heard me right. I say remember the times. If you hadn't been tuning in with us, you've been missing out. Because when I say remember the times, I've been asking you to step back to the most stressful times of your life. Some of the most tragic times of your life. Some of the most disheartening times of your life, and realize the strength that you gain, the faith that you develop, the greater internal fortitude that has allowed you to grow and transform into the next best version of yourself. Slowly but surely, you'll become more. You're growing, you're stronger, you're more capable. As I remind you, you're a warrior and a champion. So continue to go forward and grow forward this season of life. Our quote for the day, hey, it truly represents and embodies everything that I believe and the essence of what we've been talking about this month. In fact, our quote simply states, to do something you've never done, you must become someone you've never been. Oh, somebody hear me this morning. To do what you've never done. For us to do what we've never done, we have to become someone we've never been. Dennis, what are you talking about, man? You want me to just shake up my identity, change up everything? I want you to question some of the things that you've done thus far. I want you to be willing to learn, live, and evolve into the next best version of yourself. I want you to do that thing we always talking about every Tuesday. Be willing to transform into your next best self. So it's story time, everybody. Come on in for one last story for the month of August. This story talks about, it takes on after what we started in the first Transformative Tuesday for the month of August, where I simply was telling my story of change, of transformation. My story of when I got my epiphany that not only could I lose weight, eat better, sharpen my mind, body, my spirit, I could grow, I could evolve. There was more to me than just being someone who worked hard, who had goals, who had some aspirations. But if I got there, I got there. Otherwise, I'm just existing in this thing called life, and I'm not waking up with any purpose. I'm just going through the motions. So as I changed, folks, I'm telling you this, as I made that change, as my mental shift started to take part of things, I continued to see myself in more successful, more capable, more driven. I found myself, okay, what do I do now? Because all these ideas are firing and my mindset is driven. My energy is up. I'm ready to pursue things because I'm in better shape. I'm feeling sharper. I'm feeling more capable. I'm truly feeling like the master of my own destiny. Hey, somebody know what I'm talking about. As I said, I'm feeling like the master of my own destiny. And I found myself, okay, what do we do here? And my mind always goes back to one of the first lessons, just the first lessons that I learned in playing football, playing defense in high school football. Coach always told us, if you like, no matter how we practice, no matter what we found ourselves dealing with in the course of a week, because you prepare as much as you can. He said, if you get up there and you see the offense line up and they line up in something you've never seen, when in doubt, hey, you base out, you do what you know. You go back to the simplest, the foundation of what you know. What I do, what is the foundation of what I knew? The foundation of what I knew was writing. Writing was my way to gain relief, to gain clarity, to allow myself to empty myself out, because a lot of things that I go through, a lot of things that I deal with, a lot of things that I face, I kept them close to the vest. I didn't share them with everybody. I would talk to my wife, I would talk to my friend, my brother, but it's just a lot of things. You just have your own internal turmoil that you have to work through. So how would I do it? I would write everything out. I'm talking about every little thing, the good, the bad, the ugly, the otherwise. And when I got done, I tear it up, burn it up, throw it away, because I was clear, I was done. But no, those days of that were done now, because now I have a lot more clarity. I have a lot more focus. I have drive, resolve, and heart. So with that, I decided that I'm going to write a book. As I write this manuscript and I get my concept, my mind starts to flow and say, what are you going to write about? Because you just started this journey. What are you going to share with the world? What spark of change, of hope that you want to inspire here? I want to talk about marriage. Okay, so I decided to write the book about marriage. I'm getting this manuscript together. And as I'm writing this book, I have to continue to share. I have to sell myself on the concept. Because at first I'm thinking, I'm a first time author. How about I just ghostwrite for somebody else? Or I'm finding every excuse not to do it. What am I point? The first point I'm making, a lot of times in this journey to remember the times to transform into your next best self, you're going to try to talk yourself out, hey, before you talk yourself in. I'm talking about, I can tell you 10 reasons why I shouldn't write that book. But it took me to come up with 20 to consider myself worthy, to consider myself able, to consider myself, see myself as a successful person, capable of producing and bringing my ideas to life. So I sold myself on this idea. As I encouraged myself in the process of writing, I slowly but surely started to cultivate this fire, this seed of creativity, this creative soul, if you will. Walk with me. And this creative soul in me with sharing this idea with my family, with my inner circle, with my family as a whole, and none of them, thank God, and I thank each and every one of y'all, when I introduced the concept, nobody laughed. Nobody doubted. Nobody looked at me like, what you talking about, Ray, son? What you mean, Dennis? Daddy, I don't know about that. I got none of that. Okay, that's what you want to do. So with that support, with that energy, I wrote. And y'all, I would love to tell you with some beautiful saying, and it all flows so excellently, and I didn't have to second guess myself, and I didn't have to rewrite chapters. That's a lie. It took time, it took energy, it took devotion. It took a lot more focus and what I thought it would be. It went from this beautiful concept, I'm getting my ideas out, and I'm doing this thing and producing my dream, to, man, this is hard. I couldn't quite find the words. Do I want to share that? Do I really shine a light on this aspect of who I was? On and on and on. So I digress to that story because as I finished the book and finished the manuscript rather, I found myself having to go to the next step and go into the energy and the mindset of going to selling myself to a publishing company. Now I thought, well, that's easy. I'll do a little research and boom, I just start calling something around. Long story short, I finally got access to talking to my publishing company at the time. And I'll never forget the lady, Miss Cat. Let's just call her Miss Cat. I called her and she tells me, as I'm telling her my story and I'm giving her the whole rundown. And I'm just going on and on and on. And I'm telling her about how my book's a great concept. And people don't talk about marriage the way I'm talking about it. They don't have the stories that I have. You don't hear it from my point of view. You don't know the concept that I'm able to share with you. And I'm sharing different aspects of the book. And she tells me, that sounds good. But I read a lot of these every day. So long story short, I'll hear you out if you got another pitch, if you got an idea for me. Otherwise, we're done for the day. So I hit her with I tell you what I need you to realize that from my book, from no matter how you view marriage, that I need you to realize that you need to view marriage as a commitment and not a commodity. When that lady heard that, she said, I'm intrigued, tell me more. And that's how that journey got started. From that journey, I realized that, okay, I got into the process. I was able to land my first contract to write my book. Then, that goal was met. Am I done? Am I through? Because, I pushed through. I found something about myself. I grew, and I came into a better expression of myself, but that was it. I sold myself on the book. I never really considered myself a salesman, but here we are. Along this journey, you're going to find that a lot of the skills and the challenges and the different opportunities and the attacks you find yourself in are preparing you for greater days to come. Hey, greater challenges, greater opportunities. As the word says, and we all know it, your gift shall make room for you. And being obedient, and being clear, and being focused on what I wanted to see, the outcome of producing my book and bringing my dream to life gave me the opportunity to step into the next best version of myself, the next bit clear expression of myself. So the book is sold, the book is being done, but I tell my wife that there's more. I don't know where to go from there, but there is more. Slowly but surely, I started speaking around about the book. Then sharing different concepts of motivation and encouragement on my job, in different conversations, even in stores at times, on and on and on. And I found myself enjoying being a refresher of my fellow man, of encouraging them, of uplifting them, reminding them that, hey, it's okay to smile. It's not a crime. It's okay to wonder, can I be better? It's okay to question what I've been through and realize, has it made me better or is it making me bitter? On and on and on until I realize, you know what? We're on to something here. I need to take this thing further. It needs to symbolize something more. Because I can continue to just talk in Walmart, just talk to my friends casually, mention things amongst my family. That's fine. But that can be ignored. It can be overlooked. I'm reminded of one of my favorite movies, a Batman movie where Alfred is talking to Bruce Wayne as he's coming back from his training. He goes to pick him up. And basically, as he's talking to him, Alfred's asking him simply, okay, so Bruce Wayne's coming back to Gotham. What does that mean? You can't just come back here and start knocking heads and doing what you want to do because Bruce Wayne has to be accountable for these things. Bruce Wayne quickly lets him know. He said, no. I don't plan to come back and just be Bruce Wayne because Bruce Wayne is a man. Bruce Wayne can be ignored. Bruce Wayne can be bought off, killed, whatever. He said, no, I got to be something more. I got to become what? A symbol. I had to symbolize what I wanted to see. The symbol that came to mind, the symbol that I was drawn to was the double X's, y'all. Hey, the double X's. Where there's a will, there is a way. I connected with that. That reminded me that, you know what? I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy planting that seed of hope, of tenacity, of growth, of development, of drive, resolve, and heart. Herald of Hope came together. Nothing but a blessing of God as he opened my mind and transitioned me to the next step. And on and on and on till we find ourselves the day before 3 years. Hey, 3 years to the day on Wednesday, we're celebrating the Herald of Hope business anniversary. Now, what have I said to say all this? I'm telling you that in pursuit of you doing what you've never done, you got to become somebody you've never been. Now, then is where you talk about, because throughout that story, you shifted, you changed, you evolved, you lived, and you learned. That's what I'm asking each and every one of us to do. Because as I did this process, and I summed it up, I cut it down, I made the story a little sharper so I could put a bow around this thing. What I'm saying to you is that in the process, in the pursuit of growth, you're going to develop, you're going to grow, you're going to recognize the different aspects of who you are, the tools, gifts, and abilities that are planted within you, and only you, that you can use. I tell anybody there, in the process of my growth over the past 6 years, I developed the 10 best aspects of myself that shaped me, that mold me, that allowed me to stand on the foundation of excellence as I continue to walk forward with a vision and in my purpose. Number one, I say I stand as a king over the dimensions of my life, the kingdom of my life, taking authority, taking accountability, taking responsibility for the decisions, the choices, the dreams, goals, and aspirations that I have. Next, I'm a guru, the sum amalgamation of all the things that I know. I've been blessed to learn, to surround myself in the right circles, to get the right information, to set my mind to the course of continuing to learn, to grow, to realize that I don't know everything. And that, sometimes I don't know that I don't know. And that's okay, because I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm evolving, I'm opening my mind to the greater possibilities. That's what the guru reminds me. Next, I have to be reminded, not that I ever forgot, I'm a husband and a father. What does that make me? A legacy leader. That makes me someone who is responsible for being responsible for the commitments and the vows that I took for my life. What do you mean being responsible? Realizing that I can't, it's not enough to just write about a book of love, of marriage, and the character that it builds. I have to represent that. I have to take that on. I have to remember that I'm better. I'm growing, that because of being a husband, because of being a father, there's a greater calling upon my life that asks me to be better, do better, and expect better, and be the example in my household and work my way out into the world. Hey, somebody keep walking with me. Next, I had to realize, and I've told you before, I'm a champion and I'm a warrior. Oh, I'm a champion and a warrior. When I say a champion reminds me that I have claimed victory. I don't have to live from battle to battle. Because sometimes you're not going to win all the battles, but I'm going to win the war because I'm going to endure. I'm going to hang in there. I'm going to rise on and keep fighting. And next, I'm a warrior because I realize, once upon a time, I considered myself a fighter. You know the difference for me between being a fighter and being a warrior? A fighter goes on, takes on everything because I got to prove I can fight that, I can win. No, I learned to be a warrior. I existed as someone who knew that I can take on, I will either live, I will either win, or I will learn a lesson. I don't take any more losses. I'm growing, I'm evolving, I'm transforming into the next best version of myself. Next, I had to keep in perspective that I'm a medical professional. That I get the opportunity, the blessing to impact people's lives each and every day, to help them at their sickest time, to be a part of their therapeutic moments, to help them grow and transition from being in the hospital to going back into their lives. That's not something to take for granted. Because I realized, I told you when I had to sell myself to that lady, I realized that as a therapist, I'm kind of a salesman anyway. Here I am coming to you at your sickest moments, asking you to do exercise, get out of bed, do these things that you need to do to help you. If you don't believe in me, if you don't believe in my skills, why would you listen to me? Like I told you, sometimes the things we go through are not bettering us for that moment, but for greater days to come. As a medical professional, I had to realize that. That reminds me to have a heart for people and continue to drive forward, to set goals not just for them, but to continue to set them for myself. Next, I had to continue to realize that as I go forward, I'm a CEO. I stand as the head of my business, the brand, representing the double X is the symbol that I want to stand for. Where there's a will, there's a way. I put it on my chest. I represent it. I go for it. I speak with the life and the energy. Because you know what? In the process of writing the book, my literary voice was discovered. But also, guess what? Mr. Motivation was born. And he learned how to speak, how to carry himself, how to go forward and realize that, you know what? It's great to encourage. It's great to make a change, but it's a business, it's a brand, it's a symbol, something that you represent. So you have to manage it. You have to be a great leader of it and understand the possibilities of where it can go. Next, I come to as I prepare to close with you, I'm talking about that I had to realize and see myself as an impactful speaker. My father always told me, and remind us that everybody wants to say that impact is made in a crowd of people. Oh, if you're speaking in front of a crowd of people, you're somewhere where a crowd of people is ready to see you, you made it. Well, let me tell you something. True impact is done one person at a time. Where that way, I don't have to be in every room. I don't have to be a part of every conversation. If I say something and it sparks your heart, you share it. And it goes on and on and on. So that way, we're cultivating ideas. We're growing. Each one is reaching one and teaching one and allowing us to grow. Last but not least, the creative soul in me had to come to light. The one that loves to write, that loves to share his ideas, that loves to paint these vivid pictures of growth, of development, of understanding, to drive us all to transform into our next best selves. These are just the 10 aspects of my life that help me realize that to do the things I've never done, these are the people that I have to daily work to strive to be, to cultivate the amalgamation of my fire, my drive, and my passion, and to allow me to go forward. Yeah, I know it was a little long, but it was worth it because I had to tell this story. I'm telling somebody today, if you want to build that house, if you want to buy that home, if you want to save that money, lose that weight, you want to become a better spouse, get an event, you want to advance in your career, you want to graduate college, graduate high school, today is the day. Reminding yourself that you are more. You have to see yourself as more. To do what you've never done, you got to become someone you've never been. Let go of those bad habits. Let go of those mistakes. Release that frustration and aggravation and rise, champion, rise, warrior, and step into your next best version of yourself. Because that's the only way, I'm telling you, that's the only way that you're going to ever do or become who you want to be. To do what you want to do is to let go of who you used to be. Allow yourself to remember the times. Grow wiser from it. Grow stronger from it. But never lose sight of the fact to do what you've never done, you got to become someone you've never been. I pray that each and every one of you, yes, each and every one of you be blessed on this Transformative Tuesday.